you come up and go to present. And it's a domino effect. It's also domino effect when you come out of salute and face the front. So you know those two differences. At carry sword, the sword blade should be perpendicular to the shoulders. The blade should always be straight up in the air. Not backwards, not out front. Whatever it takes to make sure that that sword is perpendicular to the ground. Council and assembly current office jewels and miniature jewels can be worn at the discretion of the commander or marshal. I stated that earlier. Silence is the rule while at attention unless otherwise directed by the commander. And I always say this is always a challenge. As soon as you're at attention and the sword is drawn, that doesn't mean you can turn around and still talk to somebody. You know, especially important on this one is at a wake. You're at the casket, you're at, at attention. There's going to be people that want to come up and talk to you. Thank you guys for being here. Hey Joe, how you doing? You're at attention. You're not, really shouldn't be talking. And in some cases that is also singing. When you're walking up to the front of church, the songs are going on, you're at attention, and you're marching, and you're singing along, that's really not right. I always reserve, if the commander says you can do that, you can do that. Number 6 is return sword command should not be executed while walking. This one really happens a lot. Halfway down the aisle after they've been to the front, they're putting the sword away. And now it's, for those in the practice that have seen them, I always do the silhouette. Because you're chasing your scabbard. So that's one thing I always make sure of everybody here. I always try and put a little humor in things because I think we all learn better when we're relaxed and we're really teaching and learning. That's what it's all about. The wingtip collars is still another challenge. There's still some people out there that don't know wingtip collars not allowed in the honor guard uniform. You'll see an exemplification. You'll see all kinds of shirts. And the rule is, if you look at the manual again, but all the 4-3 should have regular collars, but no one's going to be kicked out of an exemplification if they had wingtips. But in the honor guard, it's very strict. We do not want the wingtips. And we talked also about the vests. The vest right now should not be worn. Number 8, which is one that former Master Ed mentioned, is replace outdated and or faded capes, baldricks, chapeaus, and gloves. Capes should be pressed, shoes should be clean and polished. And a lot of times I mention to everybody, we all have birthdays. In almost all cases we have Father's Day, but not necessarily. We have Christmas. Tell your family that you need a new chapeau or you need a new cape. They're always looking for things for you guys, and they don't know what to get you. Look at your regalia and just see, do I need something? Would the family like to buy that for me?
Mike, what we do is that the assembly purchases the baldricks for the honor guard. So there's, because we had a lot of guys that had yellow ones, and they didn't want to replace them. He says, cost me money, I'm not going to do it. Well, I got the assembly to pay for the baldricks. So anybody in our assembly, there's no reason anybody's got a yellow baldrick, for an honor guard. So it's not a big expense. You only do 1 or 2 a year, but everybody looks neat.
Right. And the other theme on this is we don't want to, we all have different personalities, and really we always got to step back and learn how we can all get together. But comments from members saying, listen, if you're going to make me buy a new cape, I'm out of here. I don't need this honor guard. That's not what we're about. We're not about these individual and personal things. We're here to serve whatever event we go to with honor and give it what the Knights of Columbus can do for that event through the honor guard. So we're going to have those people. I've heard them over the years. I heard many things. I made a direction before Mass and said we will kneel during the consecration of the host. And I had 2 guys say, we don't kneel in our church. I ain't kneeling. And it's like, and they didn't. They were standing while the rest of the honor guard kneeled. And it's it's disappointing, but we always have to learn the best way that what we got to do to get along, get together, because it's not about us. That's one of the things I always do in my practice too. So, number 9. In fact, this is an old one. It talks about the lapel pin. This is my 2010 copy I have with me. But the new lapel pin is the flag and the emblem as one pin, and that's the one that everybody should wear. This is the old style. This is not what we put on our honor guard uniform anymore. And that one there, I always carry extra. But through the last 3 years, when that started, 2 years that started, it's pretty well taken care of. Number 10 is no gloves or chapeau should be worn or carried at communion. And we talked about that already. And the last line is, when in doubt, reference the manual or ask the marshal or master for their interpretation. So I think for the exemplification, I'm going to go through revision 3 and find a way to get these to everybody. And everybody should have these in their chapeau case. Take them with you. Because on the other side, I think I put the colors, what the colors of the capes are. Many times when we're at an event, they say, what's with all the colors? Well, I got them listed right here. And then also, when as far as if you guys ever happen to be in the Philippines, you know that their colors are red, white, and blue as well as ours, but they're different, in different configuration. But so.
Talk a little bit about certification.
Yeah, anytime that we do a practice, we know it's all about certification. And normally we don't hear too much about it as far as...
I highlighted them. Just on page 16, when you talk about medallion medals, it says no medals of any other group or organization are allowed to be worn in regalia, whether social or color corps. So it's something I didn't realize until I seen that, and it also has the proper way of putting the medals on your chest. Highest medal always closest to your heart. So pretty good pictures in here. I encourage all the area coordinators to schedule a practice with their assemblies as soon as possible, so we can get certification going. There's a lot of new guys in here, a lot of guys that haven't been certified for years. There are some changes. Like Mike says, we see things like that all the time, but we're not going to discourage anybody who shows up for the honor guard that may not be properly trained to the best of their ability. So I encourage you to do it. November is a good month to schedule it. So please do. I'm also going to visit both bishops, Bishop Bricken and Archbishop Listecki, or Bishop Hine, and talk about the honor guard. Let them know we're here, our responsibilities. I know you guys have worked with the Archbishop. I know you've worked with Bishop Bricken, but I think it's, personally, I like to go visit them both and talk to them and let them know a little bit more about the honor guard and the duties. I do want to say one other thing in regards to the honor guard. We have a gentleman who's worked very hard down in the Milwaukee area, Jerry Holzhauer, our Area 2 coordinator. He has taken the bull by the horn with the Archbishop, and the visibility with the honor guard down in the Milwaukee area has grown significantly with the honor guard down in that area. So I'm going to work harder with that, try to get more honor guard in that, because sometimes we have 2 or 3 things on the same day, but we're getting more requests from the bishops, the priests, for the honor guard. It's unbelievable, and a lot has to do with what Jerry has done with the talking with the Archbishop, getting things going, and I know he's also communicated with a lot of the other area coordinators for help in those areas where the honor guard is needed. I don't know how we're doing much farther north, and I will talk to the commanders and things and the faithful navigators. I have not heard anything bad about anything in the north of Milwaukee as far as the honor guard and their work, so I guess I'm pretty pleased with that. So
just because you all do a good job of it, what's been north?
That's all you guys do. I have, yes, sir.
In had seen with the bishop, with the honor guard, is that one deacon sticks his nose in and tells us what he wants. Not when I, like Mr. Metzler and I are commanders of the honor guard, he comes up and sticks his nose in and tells us what to do, instead of us doing what we're trained to do. And he constantly tells us, well, so I want you to do this, or I want you to do that, I want people back here, or what. Are we supposed to listen to him?
It's in the book.
I did tell him one time,
If you're referring to Deacon Michael Vincent, he's usually the deacon that travels with the bishop. Yes, yes. And he does a very thorough job. He's had honor guard almost every time the bishop goes somewhere. There's an honor guard present, and so he is well versed on what the bishop likes and what we're capable of doing. And yes, you do have to listen to him. When we talk about that, a lot of every event, I always say we need one commander, whether it's one assembly in an area or larger, that one in charge. And then on the other side of the coin is, who do we talk to? In this case here at St. Mary's in Winneconne, we talk to Sister Pam. She's the director. She tells us and gives us a detail. In an area, it could be whatever the host church is, and there's someone designated on their side that also has the control on the other end. And in this case, Deacon Michael Vincent's been very good for us. I've had quite a few communications with him, and he does all right.
The same thing with the Milwaukee Archdiocese, we have to follow him because he is actually this the deacon they're talking about is the master of ceremonies for the archer or for the bishop, and he actually is supposed to for the bishop. The bishop hasn't got time to sit there and talk to you. It's actually they're doing it according to going according to Rome. What Rome said we do. We changed our lineup. We used to be behind the acolytes. Now we need everything. And then we also, which is neat, I think, that we weren't thinking about, is when we line up in the aisle and we salute, we also salute the crucifix or cross, whichever is going through. And if there's a row of people we bring down, and then we'll salute when the deacons and priests go through. So and it's one of those things talking to Father Jim when he was in Rome, this is where he came up with that. So if you somebody, when you run one of the bishops, he's always got a master ceremonies with him.
And I can honestly tell you, Jerry, from what the bishop's request in the Milwaukee Archdiocese and in the Green Bay Diocese is different. You know, it's the same thing. Do we follow the bishop in? Some of the bishops don't want to be followed in. You know, so you always got to understand and know each event where you're at. And
I'm not saying that.
no, I'm adding to what you said.
No, Bishop of Sept does not want honor guard behind him. I know Rick does.
See, that's the point I was making.
He does. That's his, so you do what he tells you. That's exactly what we're saying.
On the theme again, gentlemen, when we go there, we're there to serve the event in the honorable way that we can. Okay, that doesn't mean we dictate what we want to do on an individual or an assembly or an honor guard.